Hi everyone, it's Tash from Tamale Creations. I've been working away on a lot of my swaps. Anyone who's been talking to me on any of the knitting sites I belong to would know that I have gone crazy signing up on swaps this month, and I've got 17 to do. I kind of didn't realise when I started doing it that I had actually signed up for that many, but everything looked so fun, and it's my first time doing swaps, so little by little I did get up to 17, so it has been craziness. Haven't been sleeping a great deal, I must tell you, so if I lose my train of thought, that's normal for me at the moment because I'm not living on much sleep at the moment. Anyway, I just thought I'd show you what I was working on last night. I'm doing a swap that Charlene is hosting on PaperPhenomenon.ning.com, and it's a ribbon, fibre and lace swap. So I have been, and you have seen in my previous videos, some of the bits and pieces that I have been getting in, but I've kind of been stumped for a little bit as to how to present them. But I think I've actually found a solution. So I just wanted to share that with you and perhaps quickly go through how I've actually been making these tags. What I've been doing, I've done 2 so far, and I'm halfway through my 3rd. So what I thought I'd do is I've actually been making these little tags, and actually I might try and see if I can zoom in a little bit so that you can see some of this. Some of these. Okay, so this is what I've come up with, and I've done different little tags. So this is the fibre one, with all the bits of fibre that I've got. So we had to have 3 yards of each element. So we've got fibre, lace and ribbon. I think in some of these I've got a little bit extra, especially with the fibres, because you know I've bought like one, what do they call it, hank or shank or whatever it's called. Anyway, I'm not really one for knitting, so I have no idea what they're called, but anyway, one of those, it's got I don't know how much on it, and I've found some really cute ones. So anyway, I thought that I would just share what I had with the ladies. I didn't put too much on it because I was a bit worried about bulk and postage and how I'm going to get these in the envelopes. This is another thing that I've been discovering whilst I've been doing these swaps is the postage element, and trying to think of ways to do this. I hadn't thought of that originally, but anyway, that's the one I've done for fibres, and then I did one for ribbons. So this is the ribbon one that I've done, and I'm going to show you actually what the cards look like without those as well. I'm going to make some, and then I've done, this is my lace one. Now with my lace one, I'm actually waiting on my last yard of lace, so that one will go just here, and then thank goodness I'll have this lot done as well. So I thought I would show you, I just finished doing some of the lace ones, and this is what the little card looks like before I put all the lace and things on it. Oh, and actually that's one thing I haven't thought of, is where I'm going to put my details. So I think I might have to do it on bags and just put on a little label or something. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with that yet, but I'll have to work that out. So anyway, what I did for this is I needed some sewing, like I wanted something that was represented fabrics and fibres and all that sort of thing. So I was looking for some sewing type papers and things. I didn't actually have any. So what I ended up doing was I ended up jumping on the internet, and I did find some images which I managed to then put on a Word document, just make it into a Word document, just layer it all so that essentially I had one full sheet, which is what I've used. So, and I've got some chipboard that I've already cut into pieces. Now the pieces that I'm using are 15 centimeters by 7.1 centimeters or something. It's a really random number, but I started off with some scraps of chipboard cut-offs that I had from something else, and so I thought, well, I might as well use those scraps, and then the others I've just cut to that size. So that's what I did with that. And I'm thinking that if this one's too long, I might have to actually cut this up into a number of videos. But anyway, I'm just going to quickly show you what I've done to make this lace one. So once I've actually made my little sheet, I'm just trimming those edges off that I don't actually need, the borders, because it doesn't, I haven't done it so that it goes right to the edge. So I'll just throw those to the side, move my little trimmer. I sit here and do this on the kitchen counter at the moment when I do my videos, so you have to excuse me because it is a little bit cramped. I used this stamp, which is from Kaisercraft. It's a stamp company, and it's probably one of our biggest scrapbooking production people here in Australia. So this is a tea at Elsie's collection. So I have fair few Kaiser stuff because this is stuff that's readily available here. And this is one of their cute stamp sets, which I really like for doing any type of lace element. So I'm using this one, the circular one. And I just realised I keep saying I really have to stop that. It's really terrible. And my Versamark. Now in here I've actually got my white embossing powder, so I'll just get that ready as well. And I should probably be working on a craft mat, but I find I actually picked up one of these glass mats really cheap from my scrapbook supply shop that actually closed down recently when they were closing down. It was one of their X ones, and I've got some of these already for a lot of my cutters, Cuddle Bees or whatever they're called anyway, that I use. They're a bit bigger, but this one was just a little cheapy, and I love this. I use this a lot. It's really sturdy, and because I often craft whilst I'm watching TV in the lounge room, so I can put this on my lap and do whatever I need to do, go to town. So yeah, sorry, I digress, but that's what I was just talking about for that. Anyway, time, Tash. So I'm just stamping this or inking up this stamp, and I just stamped it any which way, it doesn't really matter. I essentially just went through and stamped the whole sheet, and then oops, and hopefully I didn't get none of that detail was mucked up. But I just made sure that I have that covered. It's a little bit hard when you're working on this white with like Versamark and white ink. And I haven't been too fussy and worried too much about, you know, any embossing powder that I might have around the edge, because quite frankly I just kind of think that adds to, I don't know, the sort of vintage look. Sorry. I should stop talking before I actually start playing with my heat gun. So just quickly, I just heat this. Okay, there's one, and I usually find that I should have probably heated up my heat tool before I started, because once I get going, it actually sets the embossing powder really quickly, because, I don't know, it's already hot. So anyway, I'll just stamp a couple more images. I really need a much better acrylic stamping pad block thing. Mine's really pathetic, so excuse me ladies, that's one of the cheapies that I found when I first started out, because I've only just been doing this for about a year, so it's taken me a while to try and get some sort of collection of things, and you know, it's such an expensive hobby really, if you have to have everything, which is what I'm like. I need to have everything so that I can play. So sometimes we have to opt out and get something cheap and nasty, which I have with a stamping block, and it's a bit of a pain, but I get by. So you could actually stamp all this out, and actually I'm going to do that. I usually wouldn't, because I don't like to accidentally bump what I've already got embossing powder on. So I'm being mindful of the time. Just it goes so quickly. I'm definitely going to have to run this over a number of videos. Sorry, ladies, because I think I'm already getting up to the 10-minute, or I'm already up to the 10-minute mark. So, okay. Anyway. Alright, sorry ladies, now before I go, yeah, I'm going to stop this now and then come back in another video. So I'm going to stop it so that I know that I've got enough time. See you shortly, bye.